It's the single best money I've ever spent in my business. Anything ever. I'm Luke. I'm the owner of the Toe Beans Code. So we are a dog training and puppy school business based out of Sydney. The business has been, I moved to Sydney about a year ago. So the business in Australia has been going about a year, and I've been with the With You program for about six months, I would say now. Yeah, what we in May? Yeah, six
Yeah, I
months.
reckon. Yeah. When you started with us, did you recognize a problem that you had, or was it just like I need to get support to run these businesses, and so that's why? Like, was there a pain point or anything like that to
Yeah,
begin with?
yeah. So I mean, I kind of the reason I ended up seeing I guess signing up was a couple of things. So one was that I'd previously done a lot of mine through word of mouth in the
Oh yeah,
UK.
yeah,
And when I got here, obviously I didn't know anybody, didn't know the market or anything. And so I kind of tried a few things where we tried to do some like physical leafleting. We did
Oh
like
wow.
there was a load of website, like a lot in website creation and SEO. And I tried a bit of that and we really weren't getting anywhere. And I'd always wanted to run ads, but to be honest, I never wanted to pay somebody to do it. I was always like,
Oh
just,
really?
yeah. I was just like, I didn't want to. I was like, because I just heard horror stories.
Yeah,
And so then what kind of happened was that I guess my whole thing is as a business owner is I would rather know how to do something and then delegate it rather than have no idea how to do it and then basically be at the mercy of that service.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's kind of my view, which is can be a bit clunkier, but for me it's just I guess maybe a bit more my personality. And so when I saw that it was they're done kind of the taught method, and also I'm a massive Alex Hormozy fan, right? In terms of that,
yeah.
and like I've
Uh,
done, in all I've done kind of like training all the pit and all those pillars about like social creation and all this. I really just like that it was like if I need to change it, I can fix it. And as it gets bigger, I can delegate that to somebody in the company, but it's not like I'm just delegating to some random firm who are charging me a lot of money and I was like, I would rather pay the where you fee. I'd rather
yeah.
pay your guys' fee and learn how to do it. And like, I'm much better at running ads than most people I know now because I actually know how to fix them and evaluate them rather than just, uh,
And you know your customers the best, so
yeah,
it's much easier for you to create ads for them as
yeah,
well. Because you know their pain points, you're close to them, you talk to them every single day. The other thing that's interesting about what you said was I just recently had a member say to me, "Oh, I don't actually run the ads myself anymore, but doing the course and the training and getting you guys to help me, it's because he's spending so much money now that he was like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't have time to do it anymore. So I got an agency, I hired an agency again. But previously, when I hired an agency, I had no idea what they were doing. Now, when I hire an agency, I can ask them questions on every single thing that they're doing.
yeah,
And gives him more confidence, and also it makes sure that they're in check. After you did all of the advisory calls and you went to the workshop, you did the advisory calls, you had some data into your account. Was there like a light bulb moment anywhere where you were like, I've got a hang of this, this is working, I'm getting revenue in the business? Like, was there any kind of
yeah.
change like that occurred?
So if you imagine for me, because I was so early stage, like I mentioned, I had that issue about my landing pages looked terrible
Yeah.
because I didn't have the footage. So for me, getting that first puppy school was really important because it meant that I got great images. And
Mm.
so when we went from that and moved and just got the image creation done, we updated the FAQs a bit and stuff like that, and we cleaned up a couple of things in the form, and then it was like we filled the next puppy school really quickly. So
Ah,
it was
I
like
love that.
that was it was like one of those things where I definitely could have seen a version where I'd been like, I'm really frustrated, this isn't working for me, like why is it not working? But it was I think it was shared in the workshop that it's usually like 1 or 2%. You don't if you double how many people complete the survey, which might only then be 4% of the total, but like you double your revenue.
Exactly.
And I
Yes,
think looking at it like that of like there's 100 potential bits and we can fix them really slowly, be like, do people see the ads in the right place? Do they open the ad?
I love
Do they
that.
get there? Do they
Yeah.
fill in the form? Do they complete the form? do they, and it's like, and I basically just listened, and that was when it was like it started to work because we were like going down the funnel, and it was
Yeah.
like a good example. The light bulb moment that helped fill our last puppy school was we took the puppy name out of the form.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We
that's
had I was
interesting.
like, this is ridiculous, and I made an error. I'd added the wrong form, and I just didn't have the puppy one in it, the puppy name, and we converted like double. And I was like, what is going on here? And it had no name. Same thing. Usually, if you take the breed out, you usually win more work.
That's
No idea, which is totally counterintuitive, right?
absolutely counterintuitive. And you wouldn't know that unless you were persistent and also
Yeah,
testing and learning at the same time. It's very rare that there's one magic bullet that's going to make
yeah,
your whole marketing ecosystem work. I love
yeah,
that you said that because generally we have to tell this to members. It's just like there isn't a magic bullet. You need to like 1 or 2% changes in every
yeah.
step of the funnel, and eventually it'll ladder up to getting a more comprehensive ecosystem that runs more efficiently. But like, you just need to be persistent more than
And I think
anything else.
there's a bit of it which is like positioning in the sense of I've seen people on where you like absolutely explode like a weekend. Like I've seen like some of the stuff. There was a guy in my first workshop. There was a guy that sold, I think it was dams, and he did like
Yeah,
he sold. I mean, obviously his revenue, sorry, his sales price is really high, but
yeah,
like his RAS was massive. But what I would say is that you've got two blocks of people. Like if you've got tons of reviews already and you've got a great Google business profile, right, and you've done that,
yeah.
you could turn the ads on and you could go to the moon in a week. Like if you just
True.
follow it.
Yeah,
I think if you're like me, where I had very few reviews and stuff like that, so I was building. I had to be a lot more patient because it was just like if I looked at a page that had 10 reviews, would I really believe it?
exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
so I
you had
think
to grind.
that was well, yeah, and it's also just I think that was a big thing about even on the calls, people would just be like, you have to be patient, right? Because it's we need a month's data. No
Yeah,
matter what you
exactly.
do. Like there's
Yeah.
like no matter what you do, we need a month's data. So you're already a month in, right? And then you're like, cool, after a month, we know what's wrong. So then we'll fix it. Then you leave it 2 weeks. Then we fix it, we leave it a week. Then we fit, and then it's like, okay, so now we're 2 months, and now we're like, right, we should have cleared up 80%. And now we're like, right, the core's built, cool. We want to separate out our keyword. Like, I think that would probably be something that I'd say is having that view of telling people like this. I mean, I wouldn't tell them that in the sales process, to be honest. But like for me it was because I did that before and it was awful. Like I told people about puppy school, it was 3 months, and they were like, "No, I'm not doing it."
Oh
But
wow.
like I think having that is maybe like just look, it does take time. I know people don't want to hear that because everyone wants their business to go to the moon, but to be honest, that's the reality. So
You have to be patient. We tell
yeah,
people from the start that you have to be patient. You only get out what you put into it. But also,
mm,
you just need to let the data come in as well to
yeah,
then you can pivot on
yeah,
the data.
exactly. You
Otherwise,
don't
you're
know.
just flying blind. I'm really, really happy that you said that. Was there like a bit outside of the business, once you got the ads running, and you were getting consistent results coming through, I imagine that you would have spent less time kind of doing the ads. Did that kind of change anything personally or professionally or lifestyle wise for you? Because like now you had consistent leads coming through, you didn't have to stress about it so much. Was there like a lifestyle change that could have occurred?
A little bit. I mean, for me, I just sort of started up the pause and pets. I started up my other business.
You
Like,
just dived into something else, yeah.
and I don't mind working really, to be honest. So
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
like,
I
I
love that.
think, yeah, for me, it's like my goal is, I think for me, it was when I started to work, what I was like, I started to scale. For me, I was testing out the product itself. So,
Mm,
like, we have a program, and what that allowed me to do really was focus much more on like the getting the feedback from the program and really being like, what works, what doesn't work, what do we need to cut, how do we structure the program and everything. And
that makes
so that meant that we could convert more people. And it means that for scaling, it's going to be easier. If I was sat there being like, yeah, we have the money coming in, it's like great. Like, okay, now we don't have to worry about like making rent this month, but it means that
exactly.
we can focus on doing better stuff with the product, trialing more stuff. Like a good example is, um, yeah, I mean, trialing like breed specific stuff. You know,
Yeah, you
like
were really
we
good
have a
at
big
doing that.
theory that like that's important, but I actually have no idea.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like, but that takes a lot of time to set up, and so it's like the idea of um just yeah, it gave me more time for like down the funnel. So probably not a life. I like working, so
I
it's
love
yeah,
that.
I love it really. So I didn't start taking more holidays. I enjoyed it more, so I started working more probably. I don't know.
That's so good that you were able to branch out. But like that's still a amazing
Oh
lifestyle
yeah.
change that you were able to branch out and start another business at the same on another business that you're actually really passionate about as well. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like you were just following your passions constantly and just doing them in different forms, which I absolutely love. It's actually pretty inspirational to me
It's
actually.
always been the plan as well. Like I think that's the thing to feed those products
Mm,
in. So I think
yeah.
like knowing like I've now run ads across obviously here it's B2C services, but like I've done B2C services, B2C consumer products. So like it's like now I think that's part of I mean I will probably come on to the actual like co-pilot side of things, but like that vision I think that's the thing that also attracted me to where you was like I have a vision for my own business. I have absolutely no idea if it's going to happen, but like there's a lot of stuff I just don't know how to do. I'm like I'd like this to happen, I have no clue. And my view is that if I've got somebody in my corner that's like we know people that have done this and this worked for them, it might work for you. That is 100 times better than me going onto YouTube and being like, how do you scale XYZ, and then ending up with a load of rubbish that you can't use anyway.
If anyone was kind of unsure about booking a call with one of our sales staff, or if they are on the fence, you've kind of alluded it to already, but is there kind of one piece of advice that you would give them?
Okay, so for me, the Way You product was a lot of money when I
Yeah.
found out the price. Okay, so that for me was a huge sum, and I will give this as like the testimonial about what it is. All right, okay. Everyone I knew that didn't run a business was like, "That's too much money. You shouldn't pay it." Right, like not knowing.
Ah,
It's the single best money I've ever spent in my business. Anything ever. Like, if you're thinking about this, I like. It's very difficult to describe, but you can be in control of the growth of your own business through advertising.
yeah.
That is what it gives you. And I recommend this to anybody because I am a one-man band on the lower end of the revenue side, and it was worth it for me. So for the people that are going to the moon, I don't even know what it could be worth to you, right? And so that's probably my that's probably what I would say is like there are lots of scammy like join my I don't know like be a part of our
Coaching
marketing
programs.
funnel crap yeah like a load of like AI marketing bros that are like you can do marketing for no time and no cost and you're like
I know.
or you could actually get results and do something that works. So that's probably what I'd say.